About a 1% chance to make the playoffs, but we got to find a win on both sides. The road to victory presented by Enterprise takes us first to the Cincinnati Bengals. What does that road look like to you, Emery?
Attack these Cowboys secondary vertically. Like, I will always trust Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Andre Yosevich, and also Mike Gesicki versus this secondary. Like, give me all those guys versus this pass defense. Air it out. This is a 500-yard type game against the Cincinnati Bengals, or against the Dallas Cowboys. I like them to attack vertically.
Well, for me, I'm highlighting the defense, right? That has been the most talked about group for this team, deserving so, because they've been inconsistent. They've been bad. You have to keep Cooper Rush and the Cowboys offensively to under 24 points. Now, when you look at 24 points, you're like, wait a minute, that should be easy. Well, for the Cincinnati Bengals, it might not be, because you look at what they have allowed in this 3-game losing streak, 37 points. But in those 3 games, you played against Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson. Last time I checked, Cooper Rush is nowhere close to being in that neighborhood, a bit yet on the same street as those said 3 quarterbacks. So if you can limit him to being under 24 points, you talked about the offense and how they can score, they should be fine in winning this ball game. So 24 points for me is a target line defensively for the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, 2 focal points there for Cincinnati. As for the Cowboys, Mac, what's the road to victory?
You talked about airing it out, taking shots on the football field with Joe Burrow and that offense. For the Cowboys, put pressure on Joe Burrow. Put pressure on Joe Burrow. Michael Parsons, you talked about being motivated. This should be your type of ball game, because one thing about Cincinnati, they tend to forget about the running game and they allow their quarterback to throw it around the yard. With those attempts, you get an opportunity to rush the passer. You should be the lead catalyst for success against Joe Burrow. So if you can put pressure on Joe Burrow, it helps the guys in the second and the third level in terms of coverage.
Complementary football is always my thing, because you had 86 yards rushing for Rico Dowdle against Washington, had 112 against the Giants. That was his best game. No surprise they won both of those matchups. So run the football if you're Dallas, because that provides the balance, which is why Cooper Rush has had those breakout days throwing the ball against any defense.
Now we find out